Well, welcome to SHEP Talks. Through this space, guests will have an opportunity to share valuable insights, experiences, and lessons learned throughout their time with SHEP. Today, we have as our guest speaker Stephanie Rolph. Stephanie is the academic director for Shepherd Higher Education Consortium on Poverty, or as we call it, SHEP. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thanks, Cheryl. Glad to be here.
Well, excellent. Well, I know today we'd like you to just give us a little bit of insight on this year's academic programming.
Sure. I'm really excited to share SHEP's approach to education about poverty. One of the things that attracted me to the organization from the very beginning was that it kind of embraces this diverse education that mixes classroom experiences with internship, research, scholarship, personal reflection. And whenever we prepare for an upcoming summer for the 8-week internship, the academic program really keeps all of these things in mind. So one of the first things that we talk about when we're designing the program is what we're going to focus on for the summer. So while the students are doing the 8 weeks, we like to enhance what they're doing with recent scholarship that has come out on a particular aspect of poverty that will really kind of enhance the academic piece for them while they're in the field working with a community partner.
Yeah,
And as we were preparing for 2020, what seemed to be kind of surfacing in places like the Brookings Institute and also through some academic publishers and some themes that were being covered in the media was really drawing attention to where poverty exists and how it looks different depending on what location you're looking at. And we kind of moved in that direction, picking up on that theme and identified the geography of poverty as our theme for the 2020 summer.
Excellent.
So with that in mind, we selected a book that our students will be reading this summer called Places in Need by Dr. Scott Allard from the University of Washington. We're also planning some small discussion groups that the students can participate in online because of the constraints that the COVID-19 virus has put on face-to-face internships. The students will be working remotely. They'll be connecting remotely with their discussion groups to talk about the book, to reflect on the nature of their remote work this summer. They'll also be participating in research projects of their own where they're zeroing in on the location of their agency. Even though they actually won't be in the city this summer, they'll be working remotely with an agency in a particular city. They'll be looking at the history of that city. They'll be looking at the economic profile of that city. They'll also be investigating the impact of the coronavirus on that particular city, on the neighborhood in which their agency does its work, and really learning more about the way that their agency has stepped into that space in the midst of the conditions that we're all under right now.
Excellent.
So what we have is we have this really cool combination of self-directed work through the research piece, which will be scaffolded over the course of the summer. We have them learning more from a scholar in the field who has recently published this book and will be participating in the discussion groups with them. They'll be sitting in on keynote events with national nonprofits and with regional agencies who are stepping into the breach that the COVID-19 virus has created as it accelerates and escalates need in particular communities. And in the process of doing that, they're going to be working with their agency for 15 to 25 hours a week. And that approach, I think, really reflects what SHEP is committed to, which is not just teaching students about poverty, but putting them in experiences where they can engage with the interventions of poverty, and through that combination, to gain some sense of personal responsibility towards their part in alleviating and hopefully one day ending poverty altogether in the United States.
Wow. Well, Stephanie, that sounds like an excellent program that you have all lined up for this year's events. And I know with your background and your role with SHEP and also at Millsaps College, I know this really strikes home about how you can continue to connect with your interns and with programs across the country. So if people have, especially program directors, if they have questions regarding this year's program, how should they contact you?
I would encourage them to reach out to me via email at rolfsc@shepherdconsortium.org.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you again, Stephanie, for joining us today. We look forward to hearing more information as it unfolds. And have a great day. Thank you for joining us at Shep Talks.
Thanks, Cheryl.